Hey, welcome to another exciting episode of Coffee with Tracey. I'm your host, Tracey Osborne. With me today is Patti Stevens, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. I think they're all my favorite topic, but this is one I talk about a lot, and that's self-care and how important it is for both your personal life and your business to take care of yourself and put you first. So let me read Patti's bio. After 25 years of marriage and owning a business for the same amount of time, Patti got divorced, sold her business, and moved across the country knowing no one and having no job. That is really, really brave. Now she's happily remarried and helps other women at a crossroad in their life to bring into their life balance with mind, body, spirit by developing a lifestyle plan so they can live their life and forget about their age. Patti is an ageless lifestyle coach, Pilates, yoga, and Qigong instructor, and a Holy Fire Reiki master. Seriously cool. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me to be here, Tracey.
I said that right. It's Qigong, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a word that I use a lot, so I just wanted to make sure. So, awesome. So, let's just talk about the importance of self-care. Why, so many people, women especially, it's like it's ingrained in our DNA that if we take care of ourselves and we put ourselves before anybody else, it's incredibly selfish.
Exactly. And that's the problem.
Yeah. So how do we get over that?
Well, you have to change your mindset, which is not easy, but you have to set aside time every day, be it, start with 5 minutes and just be quiet. It's what you think you create. So if you think you don't have time to do something, you're not going to. So you have to start changing some of your habits. So like I say, you can get up 5 minutes earlier because I know it's hard. You have children, you have to get to work, you have to get breakfast. Maybe your husband is one of those husbands who needs breakfast.
He's a big child himself.
Exactly. So you are all these things to everybody. And then what about you? Who's going to take care of you? Nobody. You got to do it for yourself. So start easy. Like I say, 5 minutes. Come on, everybody can get up 5 minutes earlier. And just sit quietly, maybe journal, find something that works for you. Have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Just center yourself to focus on your day, to get it going.
That makes a huge importance in my day. I know I can really tell the difference if I don't take those first few minutes, and I do about 5 minutes as well. I don't really do an actual meditation, but I do try and stay quiet. And I usually do it before I even roll out of bed, because the second I roll out of bed, the dogs are up, they're ready to go, and then I'm moving. So I'll just lay there after my alarm goes off and just kind of, contemplate or, actually not even contemplate. I just try and stay quiet and just, kind of prepare myself for that day. And I can really tell a huge difference. And you said something there that kind of struck an aha chord for me was, if you think about the fact that you don't have the time to do this, you're not going to have the time. And I was thinking about how, like the other day I was saying, gosh, I don't have time to go to the gym. So then all of a sudden, all this stuff piled up and I didn't get to the gym because I didn't have the time. And I was like, oh man, I did that to myself.
Exactly. And when you said you wake up to the alarm, something that is really a good way to start your day, and everybody, with our phones, we have different ringtones now. If you use your phone for an alarm clock, I think gone are the days of those jarring alarm clocks that scare the bejesus out of you when you don't get up. So try to find a soothing tone to wake up to. Yeah, if you're like me, it's soothing, but it's still loud.
And that's mine. Mine's very melodic, very, very calming, almost something I would actually probably meditate to, but I'm a really light sleeper, so it's going to wake me up.
Yeah, so you want something that's not going to jar you. You're out of this hopefully peaceful sleep for at least an hour. You want to wake up, bring your body back gently, rather than that jarring, that lasting bugle call alarm that really can start your day off bad.
Oh, yeah.
It starts going in the wrong direction.
You start stressed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I say, taking time every day. And then you'll find that if you get into some type of a morning routine, that's very, and like you brought up, you start your day, before you get out of bed. If you find you can add a little bit more to it, a little bit more of a ritual, that you have more time, that's even better. But then again, you have to be realistic.
Oh,
Everybody, if you start work at 6, you maybe don't want to get up at 5 or 4 rather, to just journal and have your tea and then listen to the birds sing. That's all well and good if you could do it. But, reality, most people can't. So any little bit that you can do, and having a ritual really helps because your body gets used to it.
I do. I have my morning ritual, and when it gets disturbed, I get pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do. It just kind of screws up my whole day. And so my morning ritual, I get up at 4:45, and I walk the dogs. That's the first thing I always do is take them out, especially because we have puppies. So it's like, go get them out first. That's why I don't I quiet myself before I get up, because as soon as I wake up, they have to go.
Yeah.
So I take them out, make my coffee, whatever. And I have 2 hours dedicated in the mornings between 5 and 7 when the kids get up, where that's my quiet time. That's my time to be creative, whether it's working on my website, whether it's writing something, whatever it is, that's my quiet time. And I watch my grandbabies in the morning. So when they come over and they don't go right back to sleep and I have wide awake toddlers bouncing around, I get really cranky because I'm not getting my creative, quiet me time. So yeah, it's really important to have that time for yourself. But it's still, it's that whole, why should we put ourselves first? We've brought these kids into the world. We've got our husbands. We've got our families. I take care of my mom. Who am I to put myself first? Why should I?
Well, exactly. You're all those people. You're all those people to those people. You deserve it. I mean, you're doing all these things for everybody. So who says that we don't deserve to have our time and put ourselves first? Hey, if you get sick, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
They're all going to fall apart too.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to find the time to take care of yourself. Julia Cameron's book, The Artist Way, it's about ritual and how to get back to your creative self. But one thing that she suggests is once a week, go on a date with yourself. It doesn't have to be, go to an expensive restaurant and get dressed up. It can be walking around the block, going to a new store. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a monetary thing either, but just going out and doing something for yourself. And again, not all evening, a half hour. That's all you could do. But it really, it refreshes you, and it gives you time to think, because you're not having other people, you're not out having coffee with somebody.
Right.
And you get to know yourself and think, find out where you are, what's going on in your life. Hey, what's not working? How can I maybe change something? Maybe my kids are old enough and they should be making their own lunch, or they can start dinner before I get home, or something like that. But if you don't take care of yourself, nobody else is going to do it, number one, like I said before. But then you start getting resentful for all the things that you're doing.
Right.
And so again, going back to, it's putting stress on your body. What's the number one killer? Stress. So it's not about, like you say, you don't do a meditation. No, that you have to find what works for you. Some people, yes, the meditation, chanting is wonderful. It works for them. Other people, sitting quietly, maybe reading a book. Don't put the news on first thing. That's for sure. And don't put it on before you go to bed.
Right.
And you shouldn't have a TV in your room, because that's not good either. So, you have to find things that work for you. Exercise is a great stress reliever. Doesn't have to be running hard on a treadmill. You have to find the type of exercise that works for you. That's why there's so many different exercise forms that now. You find something that works for you. hey, maybe it's only 15 minutes, but it's your time. You know, even if you have to put your headset on and block everything out, say you have to go to the gym, it's your time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so important. I think gone are the days for most people of taking that, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but the Calgon bath.
Oh yeah, Calgon, take me away.
Right. You know,
yeah.
that might not be viable for a lot of people anymore. I mean, it would be wonderful if it was, but you know, just anything. And if you can create like even a quiet space in your house, a corner of a room that's just yours,
Mm-hmm.
and put what makes you happy. And you know, like me, I have crystals all over. You know, that's my happy spot. Give me a crystal and I'm happy.
Right.
You know, flowers or a candle or, you know, your favorite music. And then you could just go sit there. Block it off from the rest of the world. There's got to be a corner in your house or your garden or someplace that's just your spot for you. So you can
try to figure out where that would be.
Well, you know where you are now. I mean, granted, it's your workspace.
Yeah.
But you have a nice backdrop. You know, you just go in there, close the door, and give me 5 minutes.
Right.
And I'll come out a fairly new person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't make all these guarantees.
My family knows it's a universal symbol. If I have my headphones on, that means leave me alone. Don't bother me. That's my universal symbol for I'm in my space. Whether I'm out in the kitchen or wherever it is, if my headphones are on, don't bother me.
That's great. Yeah. So it's a matter that you've got to change your mindset about it. You have to get rid of the guilt that we're all brought up with. And I'm not talking religious guilt. Nope. It's just our society is that you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And then what happens, especially for women, well, men too, come that midlife point.
Midlife crisis, yes.
You know, that transition time. Mm-hmm. Holy smokes, my kids are grown, or maybe you've had a health scare, you know, maybe your parents, you've got to start caring for them more. And it's like, hey, whoa, what about me? So
when did I get my time?
Exactly. So if you start making it early enough, it becomes a habit for you. Mm-hmm. And you can't live without it. Plus, you'll be healthier and happier for it.
So I mean, we've keep saying, you know, you've got to change your mindset. You've got to change your mindset. And that is so hard. So what are some things that we could do to start working on changing that mindset? Because it's like anything else. It's a habit. It's, you know, it's literally ingrained in our brain. These thought patterns and thought waves are literally etched into our brains, and we have to create new ones.
Exactly.
So, you know, how do we do that?
So some ways are, have you heard of affirmations?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Where you make a positive statement. Mm-hmm. So there's different ways that work for different people. This is just one. So you make a positive statement that I make the time for myself daily. Okay. That's maybe your affirmation. My time is precious to me. You repeat that. You can you can put messages, you can on sticky notes, put it up on mirrors, different places on your computer, you know, to remind you. There are also apps for your phone mm-hmm. that have affirmations that you can set to go off every so often. And that, by saying those out loud, starts triggering your brain to get rewired. So that's one way. The other is you can journal, because the actual act of handwriting, well, of course now it would probably be printing, since they're teaching cursive. But
I know, what is up with that? Okay, that's a whole other phone call.
But the actual effect of putting pencil to the paper.
Yeah.
And you not typing on the keyboard, but actually writing or printing triggers your brain. And it helps the brain to rewire. So, you know, those are a couple ways that you can do it. And, You can put reminders. They don't necessarily have to be affirmations, just something, we all have sticky notes around. So put up something saying great about yourself. I am beautiful. I am loved.
I had a client of mine who had, she had a gratitude bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime she wrote by or walked by it, she would, she had paper and stuff right next to her. She would write down something positive and put it in the gratitude bowl. And when she was having a down day or she needed a, pick me up, she would just grab a random slip of paper and read it. And I thought, wow, that's a really great idea.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Louise Hay is a motivational lady.
I have her books.
Her big thing is, affirmations and mirror work. So you look in the mirror, and that's the hard part, is getting used to doing that. And you talk to yourself.
Because you feel like a goober.
Right. You say, I am loved. I love myself. And you keep doing it. And it's like you're supposed to do it for 40 days. And you gradually, your mindset starts changing.
Yeah, it's really, really awkward at first. You're just kind of like, yeah, I love me. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. It's that whole fake it till you make it. And eventually you start believing it.
Exactly.
It's kind of, if you ever found yourself in an abusive situation or mentally abusive situation, or, just with a bully, they browbeat you. And you hear it so much that you start to believe it about yourself. So it's the opposite. Now that you're filling yourself back up with these positive statements, and eventually you will start to believe them again.
Exactly. Yeah, your brain can be rewired.
Yeah.
So you have to feed it right. And not just food, but, your thoughts.
Yeah.
Have to, you have to what? Because every thought you have creates an action. So when you tell yourself you can't do something, well, like I said the other day, you couldn't go to the gym.
Right.
Well, the universe said, fine, you're not going.
Okay, there you go. Here's what you're going to do instead. The guy would have wanted to go to the gym.
Exactly. So you really have to watch what you're saying, because there is a higher force out there. Believe whatever you want to believe, but there is a higher power.
Right.
What you want. That here's what you're saying. I mean, if it works when you pray, it's going to work the other way too.
It's the same way. Yeah. And that had me thinking with your affirmations, you have to be really careful with the way you spin those affirmations. Don't include the negatives, I don't want to whatever, or, and be clear, because I know that, and I use this one a lot when I'm talking is I want to lose weight. Well, that's great. But if you lose it, you're going to find it again, and it's going to come back with friends. So you've got to be really really careful. It's, I will be healthy. I will be fit, or I am fit. Not will be, but I am. Want is a sign of lack. So if you want something, the universe is hearing that you're lacking it, so it's going to give you more lack. Right?
Exactly.
And I know something for me, I have to work really hard, because I'm one of those, I'm still working at it. I'm work in progress. I have to be very, very conscientious of my thoughts, and really pay attention, because those negative thoughts seep in and I don't even pay attention to them, because they're always there. And I'm so used to hearing them. So I have to actually really be very, very conscientious about what I'm thinking. And when I start thinking those negative thoughts, I have to immediately stop. And it's hard. I have to force myself to come up with something positive. But
well, you're like 10 steps ahead of the game.
I've been working on this a while.
Yeah. By already doing that, you're out front.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's so easy to say I can't, or why me, and that.
Yeah. I'll do it another day.
Exactly. Step back and that gratitude bowl is great. Another thing is, some people in the morning write, or at night, whatever, write in a gratitude journal. Mm-hmm. And that starts, you're saying what you're thankful for, so that starts rewiring your brain too. Because, you realize all the good that you have. And it helps to relieve some of the stress too.
Right. So, some of the listeners out there, you're probably thinking, okay, this is a little on the woo-woo side, whatever. Let me tell you, I used to think that way. I used to feel that way. I've mentioned this in other calls and stuff. But when you really do put yourself first and you make those efforts to take care of yourself, whether it's just little tiny changes or, big changes, it shows up in everything you do. I can tell if I don't go to the gym, I'm very unfocused for the rest of the day. It really affects me, and it affects how I am with people, how I am with my family. So I've actually found that I've had to swallow that selfish feeling, because it still feels selfish to me. My kids are like, well, Mom, I want to spend time with you. You're always at the gym, or you're always doing this. Well, you know what? If I don't take care of me, you're not going to take care of me, and I can't take care of you if I'm
Exactly. Exactly. And, on another perspective, I think, your audience is probably younger, your age and that, but I'm going through a thing. My husband just retired, and granted, he's working a second job now, which is great, but he was working swing shift. So that was my
hard.
evening. It was at first, but then I learned to love it. And now it's like, oh, shoot, I'm going to go to this tonight. I want to go to that tonight, because I was so used to being able to be free at night once I was through with clients, that now I'm starting to have the guilt.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like, I have to tell myself, no, I'm going
Right.
tonight. Fine. So it's something that doesn't matter what age. It's not just because you have kids,
Yeah.
it can be at any age. I mean, I didn't realize it as much until, like, say, just these past few weeks, actually. And, I have to, like, stop and say, no, I am going to this class tonight, or I am going, So
Right.
it's a never ending work in progress, I guess. That you always have to do it, because it's so easy to just backslide and say, oh no, I'm tired tonight. Let's just veg out and hang,
Mm-hmm.
And then before you know it, you have no life. You actually grow apart, because you have nothing in common.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, and it's usually the women that have to work the hardest at it.
It is.
For some reason, the men just kind of go along their merry way.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's literally ingrained in our DNA. I really do. I think we're just kind of born with that instinct that we have to take care of everything, and they go do the hunter-gatherer, and we do everything else.
Right. And, a lot has changed since women have become a force in the workforce, where, my mom didn't work. It was, you stayed home and you had dinner on the table when your husband got home. She didn't work till later life. But, that's totally changed now. Shoot, moms are working 2 and 3 jobs. And dad.
Right.
And it's not because they want to, but, that's just a fact of life. But, no matter what you do. And another thing is, you've got to feed your body right. I mean, you can be saying all the affirmations you want, but if you aren't putting the right fuel in your body, that's not going to help either. Because, there's so much, and it's so much bad food out there now, the processed food, the drive-through, and yeah, they're all convenient. Going back to what we say, oh man, if we want time for ourselves, we got to,
skip somewhere.
And go through the drive-through. But, what are you putting in your body? And it's destroying your body, which destroys your brain too. So it's a lot of things. It's a whole lifestyle that you have to open to, and hopefully do it before you have that health scare, before the doctor says, whoa, you got to lose 85 pounds, or you've got high blood pressure, or whatever. I'm not talking about some of these made up illnesses, but facts. Facts. So if you have know how to take care of yourself and eat right too, then you're ahead of the game. So it's all a lifelong process, and it might change. I mean, sometimes you might find that you like a meditation. And other times you might find that walking is your meditation.
Oh, yeah.
It can change, and it's what works for you, but it's finding something and doing it that makes all the difference.
Hiking is my big one. I go out and just get lost in the woods. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. And some people that sit by the water. It's what works for you. You can't force. If you don't enjoy it, it's not going to help. If you're climbing, like I'm not a mountain climber, if your husband says, let's go mountain climbing, and you're doing it, and you're going like, oh, this is great, I'm stressed, it's not helping you, and he's enjoying it. So, you're
probably bringing him down because he's trying to enjoy it, and you're like, why are we doing this? Yeah.
Exactly. So you have to find what works for you and do it by yourself sometimes. Don't be afraid. A big thing is a lot of women have the fear of just going to a restaurant by themselves. So start small. Go to Starbucks or a coffee shop where there's, a lot of people, but you can sit at a table by yourself and just have that quiet time to go into yourself and just sit back, people watch, nothing else. And, just think how it feels to be not surrounded by your family or your friends and to get to know yourself, what you like. And
it's going to be awkward at first, but you're going to get that sense of peace. It's going to be like, oh, wow. And you may not notice it right away until you walk back into your life and all of a sudden all that chaos hits you again. And you're like, oh gosh, I was so peaceful. I didn't even know it. And then
it's also empowerment too. Because like I say, it's very hard for some people to walk in. My mom is 95 and I do not think she has ever gone for a cup of coffee, let alone a meal by herself.
Right.
Of course, that generation didn't do that. Yeah. But, now we can. And so, or even go sit by, you want to be out to at least
go to the park.
Exactly.
Go, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you can really even just go to the mall and just sit on a bench.
Yep.
If that's the place that makes you comfortable. So yeah, there's a lot of places you could go. Go to a bookstore. I love going to the bookstore, just grabbing a book and sitting and, Barnes and Noble, something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
And there again, that goes back to having a date with yourself.
Right.
Make a date with yourself and stick to it. Don't let anything get in your way. And then when you come home, act just as if you remember when you went on a date, analyze it. Hey, did I have a good time? Did I enjoy it? What did I discover? Would I go out with that person again? Just as if when you were a teenager or whenever you were dating, you went home and, well, man, am I going to go out with that guy again?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, right. If you didn't like the way that coffee shop went, maybe take yourself on a date someplace else,
Yeah.
There's all kinds. And I mean, I know we made fun of the Calgon Take Me Away, but yeah, a nice bath or...
I'm going to say, don't discount those bubble baths.
Right. Those all are things that work.
Soft, soothing music, light some incense, candles, yeah.
Yeah, right. Whatever works for you.
Yep, those are great ideas. Awesome. This has been really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope the listeners got a lot out of this too, about how important it is self-care is to put yourself first. It's like they do on the they teach you on the airplanes, right? They're doing their safety spiel. Yeah. You have to put your oxygen mask on first, because if you're not breathing, you're not going to be able to help the person next to you. And the same goes in just regular life. If you're not taking care of yourself, all of a sudden you find yourself sick. What happens to everybody else that you're supposed to be taking care of? So you have to put yourself first.
Exactly. And, as women, we can do it. We're strong. We're empowered. Yep. There's no reason. I think men are, like you say, the hunter-gatherers, the strong ones. But you know what? Deep down, they're mostly little teddy bears.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't care how strong they are or how macho, they still want to be taken care of. And not that we shouldn't. I don't mean that, but I'm just
Right.
saying women overall are much stronger.
Right.
The biggest people in history are women. Joan of Arc, you know. Let's think about some of these that have been women and that, you know, they've been able to accomplish great things. And, you know, we can too.
Absolutely. All right, ladies, you heard it here. So get out there, make a date with yourself. Patti, thank you so much for coming on the show. I've really, really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you for inviting me, Tracey. It's been great.
All right. Listeners, I'll see you on the next one. Have a great one.